What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pace Studios here in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. We are really thrilled to be joined today by the National Parks. Guys, thank you so much for coming to Pace and playing for us in our studio here today.
Thanks for having us. We're so stoked to be here.
Yeah, man, it's our pleasure to have all of the national parks right here, fitting in this tiny little room. It's kind of an amazing feat. So you guys have a new record out. It's called Places.
That's right.
Came out last month in September. You're going to do 3 songs for us from the record. Tell me a little bit about the first one you're going to do today.
This first one is called At the Heart, and this is a song about all of my relationships that didn't work out. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Long song?
Not that long. Fit it all into one song. Cool. Here it goes. With silhouettes dancing in the coastline before St. Paul. We thought that winter could freeze the time, or the warmth would take it all, and I left with your promise. But let us stop can only mean one thing, and moving on can take so long. And looking back, it's easy to see at the heart. Ooh, at the heart, we were just a little, just at the heart. Ooh, we were just a little lost, just a little lost at the heart. Start to the finish, so then I found the moon, chased the light till the night was through, and Penny was spinning. We were close but grew tired, lowest lows, I think that I nearly lost it. Driving alone to the city lights, 'cause moving on can take so long. But looking back, that's when you find at the heart. At the heart, we were just a little, just at the heart. Ooh, we were just a little lost, just a little lost at the heart. Just because it's wrong, just because it's wrong. Just because it's gone, just because it's gone. Didn't mean a thing at the heart.
At the heart, we were just a little, just at the heart. We were just a little lost, just a little lost,
just a little lost at the heart. Ooh, at the heart. Hey, thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. So I love seeing you play in this format. I've been listening to the record this week, and the sound on it, is a little different than what we're doing here. It's a huge sound with a lot of different elements, kind of all kind of mixed in, and some of it is pretty electronic, and it goes with the kind of organic sound. So I'm wondering how these songs sort of come together. When you're going in to make them, what do you start with? Do you start with these sort of acoustic, organic kind of elements, or do you start with a beat and put something to it? How does it work?
Yeah, well, I guess it all starts at the writing process, and that's mostly just on the acoustic instruments. And then we have a vision of where we want to take it in the studio, but we want to make sure that we keep the acoustic feel with it, but also put a modern kind of indie pop feel to the song. And so
Yeah.
it all kind of comes together that way.
Some of the artists that we have in here will say that they know, like, they have a song that is a keeper if it kind of works in the most basic format. Is that something that you guys use maybe as kind of a guiding line sometimes?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if we can play it in this setting, then we know that it's going to be a strong song on the album, produced fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to a point on some of them where maybe you realize, like, the bells and whistles that we have added are sort of like too much the central element and it doesn't work for us? Or does it all kind of like you figure it all out in the end, you know?
I think both. There's one song in particular that we had to throw away from the album that we spent like so much time on, like hours and hours and throwing money at it. And at the end, we just decided that it wasn't going to get there. And it was kind of one of those songs that we couldn't play in one of these settings. We tried chopping it up and doing a lot of weird stuff with it. And in the end, it was too much. So
Yeah.
we threw it away.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating to hear how these, because there's so many acts now that do kind of have that combination of like the very acoustic and organic and the electronic,
Right.
and like how they kind of come to that final product is always something that is interesting, I think, to me anyway. I don't know. I'm the one sitting here, so it gets to be my question. So you guys are gonna do a couple more from places. Tell me about the second one you're gonna do.
The second one is called Esperança, which is Portuguese for hope. And it's about, I wrote it during a time when I really hated dating, and I kind of just needed that hope that things would work out. And yeah, I guess that's in a short sense what it's about. You'll have to forgive me because I'm a little under the weather, so if I squeak again.
It's
You'll
just the
know.
emotion.
That's
you know?
right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
That's
feeling
right.
Feeling it.
Cool.
Staring at my window to the dark, hoping for a light, waiting for a spark.
I was searching high and low. Esperança, where'd you go?
I'll meet you in the mile high city at dusk.
Please don't come if we're not gonna run.
Oh, for some things you just gotta fight.
I've been in the ring too many times, don't let me fall. Every time I turn around, it's the same. I need the new year, I need the new everything could change, but still the truth is, I need you here, I need you. Oh, 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 I need you.
Spinning circles, let's be dancers.
When I dance, it's with disaster.
They say love's a melody.
It's been singing me to sleep, so let me fall. Every time I turn around, it's the same. I need the new year, I need the new everything could change, but still the truth is, I need you here, I need you. Oh, 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 I need you, I need you. Oh, 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 I need you. Sun, give me light, photosynthesis inside, grow like a seed through the weeds into the sky. Tried and true, 32, a different view. Beauty in the dark night, power in the hard fight. Look and find and see. It's so good to be alive. Every time I turn around, it's the same. I need the new year, I need the new everything could change, but still the truth is, I need you here, I need you. Oh, 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 I need you, I need you. Made it through it.
You made
Thank you, guys. Sounds great. The emotion was just overflowing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or maybe not, actually, because your voice sounds fine. So
Oh,
I think
good.
You're perfectly measured.
Glad to
actually.
hear it. Thank you.
Yeah, not letting it overwhelm you. You guys are originally traced back to Provo, Provo, Utah.
Right. Yeah.
And Brigham Young University, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
And so, I was thinking about, like, what do I know bands, like thinking like Utah bands and Provo bands. And two, I thought of Neon Trees, one, and Imagine Dragons, the
Right,
other.
yeah.
These are obviously different bands from you guys, but there is a certain kind of similarity to the sound, I think. It's like almost kind of, it's Americana kind of with a pop sensibility. Is there like a Provo sound that you guys sort of, came out of or were inspired by or pay tribute to in any way?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think when we first started, the folk scene in Provo was thriving.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I got my start and was really inspired by some of these bands. And like Joshua James is also from Provo, and he's that Americana folk artist. And I don't know, that's kind of where it all like started from. So I think that's where the foundation was. And then just growing from there and seeing bands doing big things and aspiring to have a bigger sound kind of played into it too.
Yeah. Is that a community that, is sort of around Provo still? I mean, it's, it seems like perhaps a town where you start off, you're a part of this scene, you get to a certain level, and then you leave. But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, is there still like a thriving Provo scene happening?
Yeah, the Provo scene is amazing. And I don't think too many people know about it, but
It's like a hidden gem.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's a college town. There's 2 colleges right there that are huge, and so you get this like melting pot of kids that grew up playing instruments and singing in church, and they all come to school and they're like, let's form a band. And I think it really has taken off in Provo, and like all these bands just want to, there's like a healthy competition. All the bands want to get better and push each other, and yeah, it's a fun place to have a band.
Yeah, it's cool. I wonder, like, any worry that it's gonna, there's gonna be too much influx. It will become, not Nashville. The kind of like a city where there is so much music and so much competition that it becomes sort of like, it almost jumps the shark. It's a small town, right? College town. There's a sense of ownership. I imagine you have, this is our town. Does it ever get to the sense, like it might not be our town anymore?
I mean, I think it could just keep growing and growing. There's one venue in particular there that's kind of like the music hub, and that's Velour, and it's a great venue. And I just think that it's just going to keep expanding. More venues are going to start showing up, and more bands, and the whole bit. So yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's
totally.
a good thing.
All right, cool. So you guys are going to do one more song for us from Places.
Yes.
Tell me what that one's going to be.
This is called Currents, and this is a song I actually wrote thinking about the band and pursuing music, and how at times seems like an impossible feat to be seen in this music world, but other times just feeling so compelled to do it, and it's kind of that back and forth. So this is Currents. Sometimes you are a desert, a barren, dusty dream, and I'm a nomad lost, chasing your mirage through the wind and through the heat. Looking back to the young years, it must have been late midnight. I saw the colors move, me and you. It was clear than a lightning strike, clear than a lightning strike. It's like the currents out in the great deep blue. There's a force that is occurring, it's pulling me to you. It's like the currents, it's like the currents, currents. Sometimes you are a city, some far off distant land. And I'm a tourist lost and I can't talk, 'cause you never understand. But I think of when the clouds turn, they try to tear us apart. The only way out is through, and when it comes to you, a tornado can't take my heart. Nothing can take my heart. It's like the currents out in the great deep blue. There's a force that is occurring, it's pulling me to you. It's like the currents, it's like the currents, currents. There's a force that is occurring,
It's pulling me to
it's like the currents, it's like the currents, it's like the currents out in the great deep blue. There's a force that is occurring, it's pulling me to you. It's like the currents, pulling me to you. It's like the currents, it's like the currents, currents. It's like the currents. Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having
Yeah, no, it's our pleasure. We love the record. It's called Places. It's your third album. Is that
Correct,
right?
yeah.
Third full length. So these guys are on tour right now.
Yep.
You got a show coming up here in New York City at the Mercury Lounge Saturday night.
Saturday night,
That's right.
yep.
And more dates after that. What direction are you headed from here?
Yeah, then we're headed back kind of south and home. So going to Louisville and then St. Louis. And then we got shows in November too. Greeley in Minnesota, Omaha, Nebraska, those kind of places.
Cool, man. So everyone can go find those dates on nationalparksmusic.com
Yep.
and figure out when these guys are going to be in your town. The new album is called Places. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so
it Sounds
much.
great. And thank you so much for coming to Paste and playing in our studio for us today.
Thank you for having us. It's been a blast.
Yeah, man. Come back, you guys, anytime and play for us again.
Right on, we'll do.
Yeah.
Take you up
All
on
right.
that.
Cool.
Thanks.